So when I was in advertising, I became the queen of multitasking. And then I learnt through my mindfulness training that multitasking is a myth. So all I was doing was really stirring up my brain because the neurons can only fire off one at a time in our brains. So therefore I was overusing my brain. And I think we know that when we multitask, we're not really paying attention to anything in particular. So what happens is our attention is divided, and so we have a very shallow attention span, and we're not deep into one particular task. So when I realised that there are more neural pathways in the brain than stars in the heaven, I thought, okay, so this present moment really does work, because if I'm firing my neurons off all the time, I want to be completely immersed in one activity and be present to it. And that's when I really started to see things in my life. And I saw the beauty in the tiniest little things. And that brought me into what I call my being self. So then I moved from having this enormous to-do list, which pretty well makes you want to do 3 things at once and just overwhelms you. I moved from having a to-do list into a to-be list. So my to-be list is for me to be totally in the moment and move from my doing mode of mind into my being mode of mind. So what's the difference? Well, the doing mode of mind is about living in my head and just having my brain going off all the time, because that's what I'm doing. I'm just thinking. And I'm not actually feeling. So when you want to move out of that conceptual cognitive space of the head and come into the feeling, the emotions, the sensations of the body. So how do I do that? Well, the best way, and the best way I teach it, is for people to activate their senses. And the perfect way to do that, I think, well, there's lots of ways you can activate your senses, but I get my senses most activated when I'm in nature, when I go for a walk or if I go to the beach. So activating your senses means coming into the present moment and being available to your sight, your taste, your sound. So you're encapsulating your feeling sense in your body. So any time that you want to be in the moment, be totally connected to whatever you're doing. And so I teach beginners, and this is quite common in mindfulness practice, I teach beginners to be conscious of their senses in the shower, because often we're off, planning a meeting, or, we're not actually in the shower. And that's the start of the day, so that sets you up with your practice. So you have an intention of being more in the body. So being aware of the sensations in your body. So that's generally on my to-be. I don't have a to-be list, I just to-be rather than to do. So coming into your senses and activating your senses as often as you can. That first morning cup of tea, give it your attention and savour and sip and be with that cup of tea. So the more that you come into present moment awareness, you actually start to feel the direct sensory experience of your life. So you're not wasting moments by being in a physical place with your body, but you're thinking about something else.